Bum-ba-da-dum. Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I am Banjo Ben. Today I'm going to teach you 3 of the most important things you can learn on the mandolin, and that's how to play 3 very basic open chords. Today we're going to learn a G chord, a C chord, and a D chord. But more importantly, we're going to learn how to use them. We're going to practice going back and forth between those chords and actually learn to play a song today. You want to do that? You can do it. I promise you. All you got to do is get a mandolin, get it tuned up with me, and I will do the rest. If you're watching here on the site at BanjoBenClark.com, you have everything you need. Be sure and download that PDF chord chart so that you can see a little bit more about what's going on today. If you're watching somewhere else beside the website, I'd love to have you on board as a GoPick member. There's 500 plus lessons for banjo, mandolin, guitar there, so you can come check it out. Let's get started in this lesson today. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we're in tune with one another, or else we're headed for trouble. So if you'd like to listen to my mandolin strings here, you can, but I also have a lesson about how to tune a mandolin, so you want to do that. You can do that as well. But your mandolin, of course, is 4 pairs of strings. The lowest string, the lowest pitch, is a G, and it sounds like this. The next string is a D. It sounds like this. The next string, it's called the second string, is an A. It sounds like this. And then our string that's closest to the floor, we actually call that the first string. It's the highest in pitch. It's an E note. It sounds like this. G, D, A, E. And the first chord that we're going to learn is probably the most simple chord to play on the mandolin. It's only going to use our first 2 fingers on our fret hand, and it's a G major chord. Very, very useful. We're going to use it all the time. And not only are we going to learn how to use it today, we're going to learn how to change back and forth between the different chords and work on some exercises too. But first, where do these fingers go? Well, that's the easy part. We're going to take our middle finger and we're going to place it on the 3rd fret. Each one of these spaces is called a fret. We're going to place it on the 3rd one. So 1, 2, 3, and press those strings down with our middle finger. Should make this note. Then with our index finger, I'll just remove my middle finger for now so you can see. We're going to play the 2nd fret on that next string, on the 2nd string. So open, 1st, 2nd. It makes this note. So when you play those 2 together, it sounds like this. And what's great is that these other 2 strings on the mandolin that we're not fretting, those are also in a G major chord. You'll learn about that later. But if we play all of these strings together, it makes this G major chord sounds nice and pretty. Sounds like this. Isn't that pretty? Now, I want to make sure that your hand's not holding the mandolin flat like this. I want to make sure also that your wrist is not pushed way down like this, but rather that mandolin neck is resting on this first digit of your finger, and then your fingers are curled around, and my fingernails actually are facing my right shoulder. So it's like at this 45-degree angle. My thumb is lightly resting on top. And that's a G chord. So here's what we want to do. Can we practice going from not playing the chord at all to playing the chord? See, there's open, G. Now, here's what I want you to think about as far as strategy for learning how to play this. When you go and you try to make the G chord, which finger does it better? Like, are you better at placing that index finger down, or are you better at placing that middle finger down? Which one goes down first? If there's one that goes down first, then the way that you can kind of get around that and teach your brain to play it is by practice putting the other finger down first, simply, right? So if we have trouble with our middle finger getting down the right place, well, let's just start by playing the G chord by placing the middle finger down first. Place it down, then your index. It down, then your index. If it's the other way around, you have trouble with your index finger, place it down first, and then your middle finger. But what we want to do is try to get it as cleanly as we can. We don't want to hear any buzzes. It'll buzz a little bit when you're first starting to play. These strings are hard to press down, aren't they? But we'll develop that strength, but try to get clean notes. And yes, you are pressing 2 strings at once with each finger. Now you can practice playing through the strings like I've been doing, or you can practice strumming, both down and up strumming. Again, practice going from not fretting the mandolin at all to playing those two strings. Once you get a handle on that, it doesn't have to be perfect, then we need to move on and learn how to play the C chord.